I remember being in church when I was 16 and the procession had just ended. I scurried to the bathroom so I could let out a gush of tears that had been welling up. I remember looking up in the mirror, wiping them off my face, taking a deep breath, and then walking back out of the bathroom. It was my grandmother's funeral. Why didn't I feel comfortable to cry at my grandmother's funeral? When did it become okay to stifle emotions? The truth is, I just fell into these ways because I mimicked the people around me. I grew up in a household that didn't express a lot of emotion. I don't remember ever seeing anyone cry. I don't remember saying the word I love you. It was just very stoic. It was a very stoic environment. And you know what? This isn't surprising because suppressing emotions is at epidemic proportions. Perhaps it's because we've bought into this notion that control equals strength. When we control things, we have the illusion that we are strong and powerful. Think about it. Have you ever had a negative emotion that you didn't want to express in order to maintain composure? Have you ever wanted to cry, but you held back the tears? Have you ever been angry and you bit your tongue? Have you ever felt hurt and you just pretended you were fine? Now ask yourself, why did you withhold these emotions? If you were honest with yourself, it may have had something to do with trying to control the perception that people would have of you. You didn't want to look foolish or weak by crying. You didn't want to look out of control by being angry. We've been trained by our society to suppress our emotions so that we can fit in. So what about the positive emotions? We suppress those too. Have you ever felt some kind of way about somebody, but you withheld those emotions with fear of being rejected? Have you ever been really excited about an accomplishment or a promotion, but you downplay it so that you don't occur as boastful or overzealous? We suppress the positive ones too. And we've become so masterful at it that we have lost the ability to experience a full spectrum of emotions. It's like watching black and white versus color TV. We've muted the full range of experience that emotion provides. But hey, there's a much greater impact that suppressing emotions has on us than just experiencing life that's dull and gray. There was an article in Forbes magazine that stated, when we suppress negative emotions, they get buried into our subconscious mind. This often can result in mild depression, mood swings, and unexplainable sadness. You see, our suppression seems to have us react in unexplainable ways, but really the unexplainable ways in which we react is just a buildup of unexpressed emotions. So, how and why does emotion have such an impact on us anyways? Did you know that the word emotion comes from the Latin derivative emotere? Emotere means energy in motion. Emotion is literally energy moving. It's energy in motion. When we minimize, suppress, or deny emotion, we are stopping the natural flow of energy that runs through our bodies. Imagine you have water that's trying to run through a clogged sink. Well, it can't. And when water can't run, the water stagnates. Now, as you probably are already aware, stagnant water can wreak environmental hazards. It's a breeding ground for diseases. So if stagnant water can do that in the environment, imagine what stagnant energy is doing in our bodies. There was a study conducted by psychologists from the Harvard School of Public Health that found suppressing emotions can increase the risk of certain types of cancer. And I'm a perfect example. In November 2017, I was diagnosed with stage 2 breast cancer. I'll never forget the moment I heard it. I knew that it was going to be the biggest opportunity in my life. I knew enough about the body that if my body could create it, my body could heal it. And so I went and pulled Louise Hay's Heal Your Body book, which takes all physical ailments and connects them to emotional causes. And you want to know what cancer was related to? Resentment. So it caused me to go back and look into my childhood, into my divorce. What was the emotion that was being suppressed, that was being denied? Where was that stagnant energy that I needed to feel? As I began to do all this emotional work, it became very apparent that I avoided and suppressed emotion to try to avoid the pain and the suffering that I was afraid of feeling. And what became clear to me is that the suffering I was experiencing did not come from the feeling of my emotions. It came from the resistance of feeling my emotions. If you look in your own life, can you see where you've withheld your expression of anger, of fear, of sadness, and you find yourself driving down the road and it's just consuming your thoughts? Your mind is just running over and over what you wish you would have said, what you need to say, or how upset you are, how sad you are. Perhaps once we understand that there are no bad emotions, that all emotions do is add to a full spectrum of life for us to experience, we can begin to embrace all of ourselves. Our messy, our ugly, our over the top, our brilliance, our uniqueness. Here is how we will have access to full acceptance of exactly who we are. And this acceptance is freedom, like down to our bones. This is why I have created workshops, one-on-one coaching, retreats to support women, because we are not meant to do this alone. I look forward to meeting you on your journey.